Ok, hola, soy Román González, le mando un saludo a todos los fans, bendiciones, cuídense.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. This is the official post-fight review for one of the best fights I watched this year, and it was the unification fight between the WBA champion Hiroto Kyoguchi and WBC champion Ken Shiro. And the result of the fight is a devastating 7th round knockout from Ken Shiro of Hiroto Kyoguchi. Now let's talk about the fight. First of all, salute to both men. You know, in boxing right now, there's a lot of things that people are very angry about. You know, Crawford Spence, Fury's fight with Chisora. You know, us not getting certain fights. But man, this was just like a really big positive for the sport today. This fight, because it was a great fight between two top guys in a weight class, and it's just like we're not getting a lot of that towards the end of the year this year, so you got to appreciate these moments when they do come. With that being said, I thought Ken Shiro fought a great game plan. You know, he's a fighter that has the classical boxer stance. Sometimes he has his lead hand down below and likes to use an up jab. Kyoguchi more of a high guard fighter who likes to press you and things like that. So. But the thing is, they can both box out those stances. So, like, Kyoguchi can box out the high guard, and Kenshiro can box, you know, in that classic boxer stance. And they both had success with their jabs throughout the fight. I mean, Kyoguchi with the up jab, Kyoguchi with the straight jab, Kenshiro with the up jab, Kenshiro with the straight jab. But the difference, what made the difference ultimately in this fight for Kenshiro was not so much speed, but how he utilizes speed, like the changing of the speed of his punches. Because there'd be times where there were rounds, there would be times where for like a minute and a half, Kyoguchi would get in that high guard, he would move that torso, he would start blocking shots, parrying shots, and look really good defensively. And then Kenshiro would have these moments where he would change the speed of his punches and start, you know, manipulating the guard of Kyoguchi, piercing the guard, hurting him. And then it ultimately came about, you know, the first big success of the fight for him came in the beginning stages of round 5 when he landed a short straight right hand down the middle. And when he landed that punch down the middle, Kenshiro or Kyoguchi got dropped. It was a flash knockdown. So, you know, he was trying to get him out of there in round 5, and he damn near did. So he you know, towards the end of round 5, Kyoguchi caught Kenshiro with a straight right hand, hurt him, had him buckled, had him out on his feet, had him on Queer Street. It looked like Kyoguchi was about to turn the tables and just flip the script and put another L on that record of Kenshiro. But, you know, Kenshiro was able to survive to the final bell. And then in the 7th round, he put the exclamation point. He threw what I call the "let's go home" right hand, and he said "let's go home." He hit Kyoguchi with a straight right hand, put him down and put him out, and gave Kyoguchi the first loss of his career to become the unified WBC and WBA light flyweight champion of the world. So the question now is, what's next for Kenshiro? Now that he's beaten these Conor Kyoguchi, what's next for him? Now, before I talk about what's next, let me just say that down the road, I would love to see this fight again. It was such a fun fight. Anybody who watched it will tell you it was a great fight, and it was really enjoyable. So, best wishes to Kyoguchi, speedy recovery. I want to see him come back, get some wins, earn a fight with Kenshiro down the road. But I'd love to see it again. But as far as what's next, you know, on the undercard we had Jonathan Gonzalez, who picked up a good win against Shukichi Iwata, who was the favorite, who was the A side, who they really wanted to win the fight, and he wound up outboxing him, and it was a steady dive to left hand. So he's made his second title defense successfully. He's still WBO light flyweight champion. He's still the only Puerto Rican world champion in boxing. And I think ideally that the fight that they should be looking into is Jonathan Gonzalez versus Kenshiro next, and I think it'd be a really interesting fight. You know, it'd be a different style matchup too, because unlike Kyoguchi, you know, Jonathan Gonzalez is a southpaw. He's more of a mover. And And I think that's a fight where Kenshiro would have to do a little bit more boxing than he did in this fight. You know, in this fight, he could kind of sit down and plant his feet a bit more because Kyoguchi works out of the high guard and he's right there in your face and he wants to fight with you. Jonathan Gonzalez can fight in the pocket as he showed in this fight with Iwata, but he's more of a boxer. He leans much more to that of a traditional southpaw boxer who likes to counterpunch and use that straight left hand. So that'd be a great fight. 3 belts. I'd love to see it. But yeah, if you guys didn't watch this fight, if you missed out, you really missed a truly great fight from 2 truly awesome fighters. 2 guys that really wanted to prove how great they were. Ken Shiro has come back and he's shown the boxing world what being a champion is all about. You know, he was undefeated not so long ago. He got knocked out by a fighter he really shouldn't have lost to, Masamichi Ibuki. Rematched him immediately, knocked him out like a round or 2, got the WBC title back, and he came back off the strength of that, and he absolutely delivered a virtuoso career best performance against a great fighter in Hiroto Kyoguchi. So for my money, and I said it on the live, you know, I think Naoya Inoue is the best Japanese fighter right now. I think after him is Kazuto Ioka, because Kazuto Ioka is the first Japanese fighter to win a world title in 4 weight classes. But then after that, I think you can make a legitimate argument that Kenshiro might be the 3rd best Japanese fighter. It's between him and Kosai Tanaka. It depends on what you value more. Do you value Kosai Tanaka's skill in the weight classes, or do you value Kenshiro having a long WBC title reign his first time, defending the belt a bunch of times, losing to Ibuki, coming back, getting the belt back, and then knocking out a guy like Kyoguchi? Personally, I like what Kenshiro has done more, just personally. So I would slightly put him ahead of Tanaka at 3. But just even being the 3rd best boxer in Japan is a big deal because Japan's got some of the most talent in the sport right now and in the history of the sport. So yeah, on that note, let me know what you guys think. Kenshiro scores the 7th round knockout of Hiroto Kyoguchi to give him the first loss of his career, to become the unified WBC and WBA light flyweight champion of the world. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Just like Mayweather's uncles would say, a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. You know, you do. You've done it.
Thank you.
You about the only smart guy that I know, bro. Nobody knows shit about boxing.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to say, man, make sure to follow True School Sports, always covering boxing at the highest level, man, and make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram at Just a Kid from Danny as well.
He the plug.